What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. We're doing a playthrough today with Pinsir, the Stag Beetle Pokemon. Let the games begin. We chose Charmander as our rival's Pokemon. It makes sense, we're weak to fire, it's fire type, makes the most sense to me. And we beat our rival pretty handily. We named our Pokemon Kingpin, by the way, and our rival's name is Subscribe. So let's move on to Bug Forest, and we're going to go over our stats real quick. Nothing exciting happens in Bug Forest anyway. It's just a couple levels we gain by fighting some trainers. HP 65, attack is 125, defense is 100, special is 55, and speed is 85. So pretty good stats across the board. HP seems to be a trend of 65 the last like 4 or 5 Pokemon I played through as. Attack stat is very good. It's our best stat. It works very well with our moveset as well, because a lot of our moves are physical damaging moves. Defense is good, so we can take some hits, especially early in the game. Later in the game, a lot more special stuff, which is why special 55 is kind of one of our biggest weaknesses. But we don't have a lot of special attacking moves, so it doesn't hurt us too bad. It's just on the defensive side. And speed is 85, so hopefully we can outspeed everything and one-shot a lot of things, so we don't have to worry about our special attack or our special defense really being that hindrance. So all in all, very good stats of this Pokemon. It's a very powerful Pokemon. It does have one downside, which I'll go over a little bit later, but we get the win in Bug Forest, and we move on to our second rival fight. The second rival fight comes out with a Pidgey and a Charmander. Now, Charmander at this point in the game does not have Ember, so it's not too scary, not too tricky. You just gotta get by the Pidgey and just not get sand attacked too much. But as you can see, we don't take a lot of damage from Pidgey. We also don't take a lot of damage from Charmander. We are like right around the same level, and when he does hit us, it only does like 3 or 4 damage anyway. And so that one did 4, the last one did 3, but we get the win pretty handily. And move on to Brock's Gym. In Brock's Gym, we have the Million Light Years Trainer. Come out with a Diglett. Diglett will be a one-shot. Very low defense on Diglett, so very easy knockout there. And then Sandshrew will be a 3-shot. You just gotta worry about being sand attacked. But as you can see, its move's only doing like 4 damage anyway, so not a lot of damage being done. And so now we're facing Brock, the Rock Gym, or the Rock Gym leader. Wakanda forever. And he comes out with a Geodude. Geodude's not the problem with this trainer. Geodude will do a little bit of damage back, but it only does about 3 or 4 damage at a time. So we're not taking that much damage from Geodude, period. The problem is Onix. Onix has Bide. If you don't know what Bide does, Bide, once it's initiated, whatever damage you deal to Onix after Bide is initiated over the course of 2 to 3 turns, he will deal it back double. Which is, it's not like super great, but it's just offsetting how the damage we're doing because he can just double it back to us. If we can do more damage, we can knock him out before that happens. But this is kind of one of the downsides to a Pokemon only has one move. If we had another move to use, like anything else, Leer, even Focus Energy, would be fine because it's something I can initiate while Bide is initiated, so he doesn't accumulate any damage to deal back to us. But it is what it is. So we had to reface the battle. Bide knocked us out, and we're going to try this battle again. Now here's also a risk about this playthrough. So my playthrough is it's timed. You can fight this battle 100 times. Some YouTubers, like I'll use JRS11, he can fight this battle 100 times and it doesn't affect his time because he goes back to a save point, which resets the time back to whenever he would have first started the battle. However, we do get some good random number generation. We get to beat, we beat Brock, and we move on to Route 3. Route 3 is pretty trivial, so I'm going to go over our moveset. We start off with Vice Grip. It's a 55 base power normal move, 100% accurate, but it's physical, so it works well with our attack stat. We are not playing Pokemon Yellow, we are playing Pokemon Blue, so we do not have Bind. At level 25, we get Seismic Toss. That's our second level up move, is Seismic Toss. It is a set damage move, so it does 1 damage for every level we have, which is great because the way this move is designed, it actually is the only move we have that can hit Ghosts. So that's a huge advantage over some other Pokemon like Scyther, for example. Guillotine is not a reliable move at all, so I will not use it. It's 30 base power. I'm sorry, it's a one-hit knockout, but it's 30% accurate, so it's not very useful. It's very unreliable, and having a strategy centered around Guillotine is not useful at all. Focus Energy is not useful either. It's supposed to make it more likely for critical hits, makes it less likely. Harden is a defense, ups your defense by a stage. It does do the badge boost, so it's not horrible, and you can do it 6 times, so you can really boost your stats around this. However, there's a better stat modifier that we have. Slash is a 70 base power, 100% accurate move. It has a high critical hit rate, so it doesn't work well with badge boosts. and there's a more powerful move we can use anyway, so we won't use it. And Swords Dance will tie in very nicely with our next slide here, because it's one of our first TM moves, but we can also learn it via level up, but we will have it long before level 54. So Swords Dance ups your attack stat by 2 stages. So we will use that not only to boost our attack, which is already a great stat already, but it will also do the badge boost. So it will also do the badge boost, and since it's going to up our defense, our attack, or I'm sorry, special, our defense. I'm sorry, I said defense already. Speed, that's what I meant to say. There we go. Toxic, we will not use in this playthrough. Body Slam, we will use. It is an 85 base power, 100% accurate move that we can get. We get it pretty early in the game, and it also can paralyze. So very accurate, very powerful, very useful. Takedown and Double Edge are 2 moves that we can use, but we're not going to because it's recoil damage. Double Edge wouldn't be bad because it's actually more powerful than Body Slam. The problem is the recoil, I can't stand it. I don't like taking damage, unnecessary damage, unless I have to. We do get a Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam is a 150 base power move, 90% accurate. With our attack stat, this is a very powerful move, and it works well with our stat modifying, our badge boost. The only drawback is it's 90% accurate and there's only 5 power points. If you don't knock it out in the middle of a battle, you have to take a turn to recharge, but if you knock the opposition out, you don't have to worry about recharging. It's just very powerful. You can sweep a team very well if you just don't miss. Seismitoss, already went over that. Submission we're not going to use. Rage is a move that wouldn't be horrible with this Pokemon if it was earlier, so that we could use it early but with our high attack stat, but the fact that we get it so late, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it at all. Mimic is a move we will use later in the game. You can't get it till later in the game anyway, but it really will help us just clean up the Elite Four with a decent damaging move, with a move we can mimic and heal ourselves. We can something like that. We can do any of those things, so it gives us a lot of versatility. Double Team is Outlaw. Double Team is a move that ups your evasiveness so you can't get hit, and then it also does the badge boost and boosts all your stats. So it's kind of a broken mechanic. So unless I'm desperate with a Pokemon and it's only I'm like probably in like the 90s, I probably won't use that move. Bide is a move we have like for a short shelf life. I've already explained what it does. Just initiate it, deals back double damage that's done to you. Rest, Substitute, Cut, Strength are not moves we're going to use in this playthrough. So we're finishing up here the Super Duper Nerd. And once we beat him, we can get one of the fossils. We end up getting a Dome Fossil. All hail the Dome Fossil. I picked the Dome Fossil, and I told you about it because I thought I figured you were going to ask if I didn't tell you anyway. Actually, now I think of it, go ahead and comment, because comments help the YouTube algorithm. So now we're in Misty's Gym, and Misty's Gym is kind of very trivial, not very difficult. And the reason why is because we were very powerful. Now this trainer can be difficult, and I was not paying attention. I got a little worried. Because Goldeen has Peck, which is a flying move. Okay, we do 2-shot her, but she can be scary because she has Peck. And we are bug type, we're weak to flying, it's super effective. And then we move on to our third rival fight. Comes out with a Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto will be a 2-shot. Take a little bit of damage from Pidgeotto, not a big deal. Abra can't do nothing to us, so 1-shot with the Vice Grip, 1-shot with Rattata. Charmander does have Ember now, so he can't be scary, but he doesn't even hit us. And we knock him out too. Very easy rival battle. So now we're at a point in the game where there's a bunch of battles we're about to fight to accumulate a lot of experience points. Okay, which means a lot of levels. So while that's going on, I'm going to go and talk a little bit more about the game. So I already went over the stats. Stats are pretty solid with this Pokemon. Okay, probably the best stats for any bug type in Gen 1 next to Scyther. But I think the moveset is a little bit better than Scyther's because we have an ability to hit Ghost without relying on Bide or Mimic. So we have a little bit of an advantage now. Now here's where there is a disadvantage with this Pokemon. Didn't go over this earlier. This Pokemon's in what's called the slow level up group. The slow level up group is a group that it takes more experience for every individual level to level up. That's why we're fighting a little bit more battles than we normally would. You can skip a lot of battles if we wanted to. But we have to. These are mandatory. So some are mandatory in the game. You can't progress the game unless you fight them. Okay, but some are not mandatory. Some are optional. So we fought a lot more optional battles so that we can keep up with the level curve of this game like we're supposed to. And yeah, so we're getting some good levels here, and we're getting through Nugget Bridge. Nugget Bridge isn't very difficult, so it's not like it's something that's struggling. that's why I don't comment on this, because it's going to be a lot of, now here's an example of a battle that's not a one-shot. Okay, the battle that's not a one-shot is this guy. Now this will be a quick one right here, but it's not a one-shot in the sense that we're not going to one-shot a rock Pokemon. And this is where here soon we're about to get Seismitoss. Seismitoss will be a huge upgrade over fighting rock or hikers and such like that. So it's about getting experience here, and this little level up group is the only thing holding this Pokemon back. But as you saw, we did not take too long to get by Brock. Okay, we did not take too long at all to get by Brock. Brock ended up being we got by him with about 13 minutes in, so that wasn't too big of a hindrance. If we just had one other move, we could have got by him very fast. But we just don't have any other moves, and this Pokemon is a Pokemon you're not supposed to get till later in the game. So I've said this before with other Pokemon, that some Pokemon you get in the game their level up moves are skewed so that you can get them late in the game and still experience the leveling up and getting moves experience. That's what they did. They didn't design the game for like a whole culture of guys playing Pokemon on YouTube and using every Pokemon as a starter and seeing how fast every Pokemon gets through the game. It wasn't designed for that. Which, you know, I get it, but I still wish it just skewed it a little bit less, because any move would have been fine to have to make this a little bit faster. So we just picked up the TM for Seismitoss. I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know what, we're like a level or two away. It's not going to be a huge deal if we don't have Seismitoss at this very second to beat Misty. We'll see what happens with Misty, and we'll add it there. So here's what I mean by I don't fight a lot. I never fight that trainer. Never fight that trainer. So this girl is a mandatory, so you have to fight her. But I never fight that trainer. So it is what it is. But this part of the game is I wouldn't say it's tedious, but it's about getting a lot of levels. We were level 21 when we started Nugget Bridge, and we're at level 24. And now we're facing Misty, the water gym leader. She comes out with a Staryu. Staryu, not great defense, but he's going to go for X defend. It is what it is. And then we're going to try to knock out the Starmie. We don't have great special. Water is a special damaging move. So look how much Bubble Beam does. Jesus. If it went for Water Gun or Bubble Beam, probably would have knocked us out right there. But it doesn't, and we move on to our fourth rival fight. Comes out with a pretty solid team. Pidgeotto is the first Pokemon. Okay. Body Slam is a one-shot. We did accumulate Body Slam, so you see how powerful Body Slam is now with our attack stat. Body Slam is another one-shot with Eradicate. And then Kadabra is a one-shot, and Charmeleon is not a one-shot. However, he does get off a slight Ember. We do paralyze him, but we get the knockout nonetheless. And we move on to Trash Man Lieutenant Surge. So Lieutenant Surge comes out with electric Pokemon, and I'm going to tell you this right now, it's a clean sweep. Body Slam 1, Body Slam 2, and Body Slam 3. That little bugger Pikachu got a little quick attack off, but not a big deal. So we're now heading towards Rock Tunnel and heading towards Lavender Town. So this is the part of the game where I like to actually bring up a little bit of something. So I enjoy watching Pokemon videos. This is what got me into doing Pokemon videos, is I enjoy watching them very much. There's different styles out there, so, you know, different strokes for different folks. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because this is the part of the game where I like to shout out some other YouTubers. So there's a couple of channels that got me into doing Pokemon videos. Okay, and so the first two, the two that really got me into it is JRose11 and Scott's Thoughts. Those are the two that got me into it. I would say MandJTV had a little bit of that as well, but he usually talks about Pokemon more than he plays it. At least the ones I watch. So I have links in my description down below if you want to go check them out. I really recommend all of them. JRose11, Scott's Thoughts, and MandJTV are the ones that kind of got me into it. Mah-Dry-Bread a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. I watched him more now that I've started watching Pokemon videos, but I do recall maybe watching one or two videos before I started doing this. So there's a couple right there. Van Man's another one. He hasn't posted any videos lately because he's having an issue with his voice, but his videos are very good as well. Gym Leader Matt, his are very unique. I like his videos as well. Eggsceptional is one that it's pretty new, and I really like his videos. He does a lot of Gen 3 content, and videos look very well. They're very well done, pretty funny, so I recommend you go check him out. KangaskDan does a lot of the analytics of Pokemon. HiddenJim does a lot of Versus series. Mah-Dry-Bread, I've already mentioned him. He does Fallout games too, if you want to watch that, and Oblivion. But Mah-Dry-Bread does pretty well as well. He does a lot of scenarios where he'll pin himself against an entire game with one Pokemon, and do some very limited stuff as well. MandJTV and MandJTV Plays is a pretty good one as well. Sorry, my mouth is a little bit dry, so I had to take a little breath there for a second. SmithPlays Pokemon is pretty good as well. He does a lot of Gen 2 stuff, and Squidgy as well does Gen 2, and I love his playthroughs because Squidgy's playthroughs are Gen 2. They're very broken down very well, and yeah, it's doing fantastic. So if you want to, I learned so much about Gen 2 watching this video. So yeah, there's a handful of YouTubers right there that I recommend. If you like content like this, or playing through Pokemon games with just one Pokemon, there's a whole slew of them down in the description, and go check them out. I recommend all of them. That's why I put them in here. I wouldn't put them in here if I didn't recommend them, if I didn't watch them personally myself. So now we're at near the end in what I call the boss battle of Rock Tunnel, and that is Boomer the Hiker. It comes out with a Geodude. Now luckily we have Seismic Toss. Seismic Toss will skip over all the defense that it has against us, because all our moves are normal type, and we'll two-shot every Pokemon here. As long as we don't get an explosion, which we have pretty good defense, so explosion wouldn't be the worst thing, but I don't think we take 3 explosions. So we progress from Rock Tunnel, we get to Celadon City, and now we're facing Giovanni. Giovanni is a pushover, as usual. Okay, Seismic Toss is a three-hit knockout on all 3 of his Pokemon. Oh, I'm sorry, it was two hit on the Onix. And now Body Slam, we're trying to see if Body Slam does more. It does about the same. I think it just might be running out. Nope, it does the same. Okay, so we beat Giovanni. He's not very difficult. And we move on to our 5th rival fight. Rival number 5. Pidgeotto comes out. Body Slam should be a one-shot on Pidgeotto. Very good. Execute comes out. There's not really a great move we have for Execute. We just gotta worry about getting put to sleep, but we do Paralyze, knock it out. Gyarados comes out, which is a cheat. Our rival's a damn cheater. Just so you know, Gyarados he got Gyarados level 22. That's what it is right there. You cannot get Hydro Pump on Gyarados until like in the level 40s. But somehow he has it level 22. It's cheating. He's a cheater. He's a dirty rotten cheater. But regardless of him being a dirty rotten cheater, we still beat him anyway. A little closer battle than I anticipated at that time. We don't have really any massive powerful moves at that moment, and we also have a stat modifier. But now we're facing Erica, and Erica in her gym, we do have Swords Dance for Erica. Body Slam will be a one-shot on all the Pokemon now. Swords Dance really does make just about any Pokemon you have very powerful, because it turns your what could be an okay move into just such an OP move very quickly. So now we're in Koga's gym. Koga's gym is the poison gym. However, you don't face poison Pokemon to get the Koga. You face a lot of psychic Pokemon, which is good and bad, because psychic moves are special, and it's going to do a lot of damage to us if we get hit by a psychic move. However, psychic Pokemon, most of them do not have great defense, so that's going to be helpful for us. So all we got to do is make sure we manage our power points pretty well. We can get through here pretty handy. Now, this is an actual poison type Pokemon, so we don't have to worry too much about taking a lot of damage from a poison type Pokemon. But yeah, it's just a lot of the trainers in here, except for this one, actually have psychic Pokemon, which is very annoying because this is a bug. This poison gym is kind of frustrating. I really do think that Koga's creating a circus in here, because he's got. You look at everyone in here. Everyone in here is either a juggler or a tamer. Okay, so I think he's making his own circus, and he's the ringleader of his own circus. But I digress. So this guy's pretty easy, and like I said, there's only 2 people in the tamer is the only ones in here actually have poison type Pokemon. Okay, this guy right here, this juggler, all the jugglers, psychic. Don't know why they have psychic. I don't know why they're not using cue balls in here. They don't know why they don't use bikers in here. But they're all. This is why I believe he's creating a circus. So Body Slam, we are poisoned. It's not a big deal, and we're gonna heal up the poison and face Koga. Koga will come out with a coughing. He has 4 Pokemon. As long as we can get it set up 1 or 2 Swords Dances, we're going to sweep his entire team with no problems at all. He does poison us, so I'm like, you know, let's not risk it. Let's just go for broke. As long as you knock out in Gen 1, you don't get hit by the poison. So go for broke. It's 3 knockouts, and do we get 4? We get, oh, we do not. Wow, that is a very high defense on that Pokemon. Jeez. Okay, we almost, that was a close call. That was a very close call, but we get the knockout regardless. Now this is what I was talking about earlier about optional. We don't have to fight this. I call it the Cobra Kai. We don't have to fight this. And the reason we don't have to fight this is because we do not have. It's not mandatory to beat the game to fight this gym. However, I do have to get a couple extra levels because we just kind of almost didn't knock out the final Pokemon against Koga. Okay, now you can sit there and say this is a little bit of unlucky, but we're gonna face Blaine's gym here soon. We got our 6th rival fight. We got Sabrina. Sabrina has a lot of psychic moves, special moves. So I'm like, maybe we do need a couple extra levels here and there, just to get through the game, just to make sure we're at a good point at the end of the game where we can steamroll the Elite Four. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just fighting a couple extra battles here to get maybe another level or 2. And then we can head into our next battles that we have to do to progress through the game. Okay, we do get to level 41, and now we're fighting this guy. He's gonna have a Hitmonlee and a Hitmonchan. Hitmonlee is a fantastic Pokemon. Hitmonchan is garbage. Hitmonchan is garbage. So just Hitmonchan is just straight up garbage. Hitmonlee is awesome though. One of the best fighting type in the game. And now we're facing our 6th rival fight. Comes out and he's got a Pidgeot. We're gonna set up on the Pidgeot. We just don't want him to do Sand Attack. Wing Attack's fine. I don't care if he does Wing Attack. It does a little bit of damage to me. Nothing in the world. Hyper Beam, 1-hit knockout. Very good. Moving on to Execute. 1-hit knockout. Very good. Gyarados comes out and is cheatiness. Body Slam knocks it out. Very good. Body Slam knocks out Alakazam. Very good. And we knock out the Charizard. Very good. And we move on to Giovanni. This is the 2nd Giovanni fight. Comes out with the Nidorino. I'm just going to do a little bit of spoilers here. Nothing much happens against him. Because we're going to Swords Dance. We're going to boost our attack. We're going to take a little bit of damage from poison. However, we're going to get the knockout. 1-hit knockout, very good. 1-hit knockout, very good. And I have an option to learn Harden here. I would if I didn't have Swords Dance, but we have the option to learn it. We're not going to learn it. We have Swords Dance. Swords Dance is the best stat modifier in Gen 1 in my opinion. That and Amnesia are kind of like 1v1. They're kind of, on the same par. And now we're facing Sabrina. Sabrina is a Psychic Gym Leader. Sabrina and her whip. And she comes out with a Kadabra. Kadabra will almost one-shot us. That's why I was scared, and that's why I got the extra level. So 2-shot, or 1-shot, 1-shot. So we're knocking all our Pokemon on 1-shot, which is good. If we did not badge boost, we would not have outsped the Alakazam there. So that's why badge boost is important, is it ups our speed so that we can actually beat him. So now we're in Blaine's gym. Blaine is fire type. We are weak to fire. Okay, so just letting you know that this is what kind of everything's been culminating for is, or coming to a spearhead for, is to beat Blaine. His first Pokemon is not very great. His first Pokemon is a Growlithe, which Growlithe has propensity to sometimes do Ember. Also can do Growl. He can also do a retroactive potion. So that's just what we're dealing with. So we have a great setup Pokemon. The question is it enough to knock out everyone? That's really the question with this gym leader right now. So the trainers in here are not very difficult, but we just don't have anything that's just gonna one-shot everything. So we do have to occasionally do a Swords Dance when we use anything other than Body Slam. Okay, so we're getting through these trainers in here, and I don't know if I've said this already, but if you are enjoying this video and you're enjoying any kind of Pokemon content, please like, share, and subscribe. I did shout out everyone else. I forgot to shout myself out. Like, share, and subscribe, comment. It really does help the YouTube algorithm. And that's how this video gets out to more people, is by commenting, liking, sharing, and just, a little bit. It takes a little bit of interaction, not just watching, but liking, commenting. Really does help YouTube algorithm. There's a direct correlation between viewer participation and then gaining more views. Okay. So we got like what, 1 or 2 battles here, or 1 battle left. We got 1 battle left, and we're to get to Blaine. Okay, I should be good enough. Come on. Yeah. Past me is kind of like putting future me in suspense here. So we Swords Dance, and we're just going to knock this guy out really quick. And we're actually out of body slams, which is awesome. Use some hyper beams, but we're going to heal up, and we're going to face Blaine. So Blaine comes out, like I said, with a Growlithe. He has 4 Pokemon. Fire Gym Leader. Okay? Kind of looks like Dr. Robotnik on Slimfast. So we're setting up, and now we're going to try to sweep his entire team. I use Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam is not using my favorite move to use because it's just not the greatest accuracy. It's just very powerful, and it's way more powerful than Body Slam is. Okay? And we get the knockout, 4 straight one-hit knockouts, 4 straight Okos, and we move on to Giovanni the Gym Leader. Okay, Giovanni the Gym Leader comes out with a Rhyhorn. We are going to set up on the Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn does not have a lot of moves anyway, plus we went for Guard Spec, which is stupid. Okay? So with our defense, his Stomp only did like 8 damage. Very good. So we're moving on. Seismitoss gets the knockout. Very good. We do level up, which sucks, because now we no longer have all the stat modifier, except for the attack stat from Swords Dance. So, awesome. So we're down to our last Pokemon, Rhydon here. We don't one-shot, so we gotta take a turn to recharge, but Guard Spec for the win. Anytime you see Guard Spec, you pretty much won the game won the battle when it comes to Giovanni. And now we move on to our 7th rival fight right before the Elite Four. And this is usually when he has probably one of his better teams. Pidgeot comes out, no longer has Sand Attack, so we can set up. We just gotta worry about Wing Attack. We are weak to flying type moves. So we get the full setup. Body Slam's a ooh, it's not a one-shot? You're kidding me. Okay, it's not a one-shot, so it's a Toko. We have a chance to get Slash. We don't need Slash. Not a very viable move right now. Okay, we're going to go for Hyper Beam. Gets a one-hit knockout on the Rhydon. We're going to go for Hyper Beam. Get the one-shot on Execute. So now we're not only low health, but we're poisoned, so we have to one-shot everything or we're not going to win this battle. And Psychic knocks me out, so we're going to try that battle again. So let's try this battle again. Hopefully we don't get poisoned and we have a lot more health going into the final couple battles. Okay, so Swords Dance again, and we get all the way to high health. We still don't one-shot. I don't understand that for the life of me why we're not one-shotting. But we do level up again, so there goes a lot of the badge boosting. And the problem with Alakazam is we didn't outspeed Alakazam. He went before us. It might have been because we were poisoned. That's possible. So we're going to see here in a second. Body Slam on the Gyarados and the Execute. Very good. Okay, so he does outspeed us, but that time he went for Reflect. And then Hyper Beam one-shots the Charizard. So kind of concerning. A little bit concerning when it comes to that. So right now we're going to pause this. And we're going to look at the stats. So this is right before the Elite Four. Here's where we're at. Attack stat 178. Very good attack stat. Very powerful. Our defense is 152. That's also very good. Speed is at 137. So I told you I'd get that pretty high. And then special, even though it's our worst stat, it's still at 100. So none of our stats are under 100, and a handful of our stats are over 125 or over at 125 or higher, or 137 and higher. So that's very good. So let's go ahead and go over that, and I'm also going to go over the moveset here in like 2 seconds, right there. So we're walking in the Elite Four with Hyper Beam, which we've taken. You can get up to 4 PP ups in the game. One of them you have to go through a lot of trainings to get to, so I avoid it. But 3 of them you can pretty much get for free without having any confrontation. So Hyper Beam, 8 power points, Body Slam has 15, Swords Dance has 30, and Seismitoss has 20. Seismitoss really has a purpose for one trainer, and that's it, and then we'll get rid of it. So yeah, that's our moveset. So let's go ahead and take care of this bad boy, and we're going to go ahead and take on Lorelei. We're at 1 hour and 2 minutes, so we've progressed the game very well for a Pokemon with a slow level up group, but this is what happens with it. So Lorelei comes out, and she comes out with Dugong. So we're setting up on the Dugong. Dugong will not do much except for rest, and it's kind of has some broken. It kind of has some broken AI, to be honest with you. So we're gonna knock out the Cloyster. Very good. So we have 78 health left out of 177. One shot on the Slowbro. One shot on the Jinx, and the question is, do we one shot on the Lapras? Lapras can be scary. It does have Blizzard. Blizzard can knock us out. We are weak to ice. So we beat Lorelei pretty handily. We're going to go in full restore. Now, I don't cut any of this footage. This is why you're seeing this right now. So now we're going to face Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno very much. Bruno's kind of a bum. That's why his name is he's going to call him Bummo. Okay, so we're setting up on the Onix for the for we're setting up Swords Dance on the Onix. It's gonna be a 2-shot. He's building his rage up. It doesn't do a lot of damage. This is why I don't use rage. It's not very powerful. Okay. Hyper Beam on the Hitmonchan, very good. I leveled up, darn. Hitmonlee, knockout, very good. Onix, Hyper Beam is not a knockout. It's gonna take a couple turns. Gives him an opportunity to hit us a little bit, which I don't like. And Seismitoss gets the knockout. And then now we have Machamp. So Machamp going to be a 1-shot, and we miss with a Hyper Beam. So that could have been scary because Machamp has some good stuff. Machamp could do some pretty good stuff to us. So we're going to move on to Agatha. Now, Agatha is really the only one in here I'm really afraid of. Because I don't have a reliable move that can 1-shot. Agatha has what's called the Agatha Lottery. She can put you to sleep, she can paralyze you, poison you, and confuse you. So you're rolling the dice every time you start a battle with Lorelei, because even with Pokemon that have like really good attacks, you can still miss. You can still, I don't know. There's a lot of things that can just go awry whenever you face Agatha. So this is our first attempt at Agatha. So spoiler alert, we do not win this. So right there, we go for the Seismitoss. The only thing that can hit a ghost that we have, and then we get confused. Then we get put to sleep, and she mops the floor with us very quickly. So we're going to try that battle again. Obviously, we're not going to sit here and dwell on it. It's just a little bit of luck. This is really what this is. It's a little bit of luck. We outspeed, which is good. Okay, Nightshade is okay because we can take some damage. Super Potion doesn't do a lot to us, or doesn't help because we can still knock it out. And we have a lot more health now going into the next few Pokemon. So I just Swords Dance right there just to give the option to potentially 1-shot another Pokemon here. Seismitoss will be a 3-shot. Nightshade does a lot of damage, but we still get the knockout. Arbok comes out. Hyper Beam's a 1-shot on the Arbok, and that leaves one Pokemon left, the Gengar. We can take one Nightshade from Gengar. Now we're confused, and we get a little bit of hurt and confused. Now Toxic was perfect because it went for Nightshade to knock us out, but Toxic just poisons us, so not the biggest deal in the world because we can heal. Okay, it doesn't do damage the turn you get poisoned, which is good. So we're going to do Rare Candy. I'm going to level up. I'm going to use Elixir. Very good. And now we're going to face Lance, the Dragon Trainer. So Lance with this Pokemon is not very difficult. The last Pokemon it was Magmar. And he starts off with Gyarados that will only do Hydro Pump. Okay? So now we're starting the battle off with Swords Dance. Hyper Beam does a decent amount of damage, but not a lot. So I'm going to take this opportunity to... We only did 2 Swords Dance because I didn't want to take the shot, a chance of him like getting a critical hit or something. So we did our final setup, and now we're going to sweep the team. Body Slam, Body Slam. Aerodactyl's pretty bulky, so probably not going to get a 1-shot. Takedown doesn't do a whole lot, though. And it puts him into healing range, which is unfortunate. So now we're going to go for Hyper Beam. Get the 1-hit knockout, very good. And you just never know. Sometimes it is a 1-hit, sometimes it's not. I hate taking that turn to recharge. So we beat Lance, the Dragon Trainer, and now we're moving on to the final battle of this game. Our rival, the champion. His name is Subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe. And we're going to get Mimic, and we're going to replace Mimic over Seismitoss. Seismitoss has run its course. We don't need it anymore. Okay? And we're going to use a Mimic to help win this final battle. And as soon as we decide to save, about 1 hour and 7 minutes. Alright, champion, what do you got for us? So he comes out with a Pidgeot. We're going to go ahead and we're going to set up on... We're going to go for Hyper Beam, knock it out. And it's going for Sky Attack. And almost 1-shots us. Oh my god, okay. And now Alakazam comes out. Do we outspeed Alakazam? We do not. We do outspeed. Very good. Okay, cool. Body Slam is going to be a 2-shot. I don't know why it's not a 1-shot, but it's going to be a 2-shot. A little bit of luck there, but we're going to recover on the Rhydon because he has nothing that really hit us. He doesn't outspeed us, so he can't use Fissure or Horn Drill, whatever it is. So we're going to heal twice, and he's going to use Leer, and that's going to initiate the Badge Boost glitch for us. So now we're fully healed. We're setting up to make it so that we can sweep the rest of this team. Hyper Beam is going to be a 2-shot. Going to take a turn to waste, or just sit here and wait. Get the 2-shot, very good. And now we're moving on to Executor. Executor is not really a move that I have and can just 1-shot and destroy this thing. So Hyper Beam is the one move, but if without the Badge Boost, it would not have happened. Execute's actually very well statted. It's got good defense, it's got pretty good attack, it's got good special, and we get the one shot on the Charizard and the Gyarados, and we end up winning the game. So I'm just like tapping right here, tap, 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 trying to get the fastest time possible. Make sure to get it under an hour and 9 minutes. And I'm just tapping, 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 tapping. And gonna go get it here. There we go. And Pinsir comes in at level 63, one of the lowest levels I think I've won this game at. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause right there. So yeah, that's my playthrough. We got this done in 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 45 seconds. Very well done. I'm very happy with this result. And yeah, that's pretty much the video. So the next couple videos are going to be fun, but there's also some coming up that are going to be very, very frustrating. So the next one is Taurus, and Taurus is normal type, so first gym, slow level up group, it's going to be fun. And after that, it's going to be Magikarp / Gyarados, and then after that, it's going to be Lapras, and after that, it's going to be Ditto. And I'm dreading that Ditto playthrough, but I got to do it nonetheless. So thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please like, share, subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If the audio in this playthrough seems a little different, a little weird, I'm doing this while being this. I have 2 cats that will not leave me alone right now. Okay, I'm doing this before my child wakes up, so I'm trying to make sure I get through it. If not, I will miss my deadline. I'm getting it posted on Friday. So thank you for watching. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time on Monday. Taurus prediction. So see you then. Bye.